Hello everyone. In this video I'd like to discuss with you some ideas and some methods for creating successful results and discussions section of your paper, and also for creating rhetorically effective and clear and attractive figures. Before I begin, you might be wondering where I am, what's the background. I'm actually in Trondheim, Norway this week, where I'm participating in a conference, and I'm sitting on the balcony here in my apartment. So hopefully the noise outside is not too loud and won't interfere. There are some seagulls flying around and squawking rather loudly over my head. Anyway, so let's get started. Before this video began, I showed you a couple of PowerPoint slides in which I posted some important questions that I will try to cover in this presentation. I will speak for about 10 minutes, and the reason for my relative brevity of this video is that I know that very long videos, nobody likes to watch them, and I think I'd rather speak to you for about 10 or 12 minutes, and then we can have a discussion later on when we meet face to face, than me giving a 45-minute lecture in video. So let's begin by talking about the results section. And one of the most important elements of the results section, of course, are your figures. The purpose of the whole results section, as its name implies, is to report the results of your data collection, nothing else. The purpose of this section is not to discuss those results. It is simply to report the most important results that you've obtained. And typically in scientific papers, the reporting of these results begins with figures. So let's talk about how to create successful, attractive, effective figures in your results section. There are several principles of creating such figures that I'd like to draw your attention to. And the first principle is pretty much the same one as is with any kind of writing, and that is know your audience. Clearly, in this case, you're writing towards other scientific professionals, so when you create your figures, you need to really keep in mind, really be conscious of what they already know about your topic, what they don't know, what needs to be explained, how that can be explained in the figures, and so on. So the second principle also is a very broad one, and that is understand and follow your intention. What is the intention of your study? What is your intention as a researcher? What is the purpose of your study? The figures you include in your paper should clearly reflect that purpose and that intention. Do not veer off in another direction and include information that is not pertinent to your research question, your hypothesis, and the intention of your study overall. Third principle. This is what some people have called understand your support medium. Let me give you an example. If you are creating a figure for a PowerPoint presentation where your audience would have to quickly understand your details before you move on to the next slide as you continue to speak, your figure will need to be fairly simple usually. You cannot really include a lot of extraneous details, a lot of details that are really high level of sophistication, high level of complexity in those kinds of figures. On the other hand, when you're writing for a scientific paper, remember that your reader can always go back, and they will go back, and they will look at your figure again and study it again and